And there we go. We're on.
So I see three people.
Yep.
Nobody checked in from,
And Jay for me.
Yep. And I know, we all know that, we know they're for.
Jay Dahlberg.
Mm.
Is he still around?
Mm-hmm.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is the March 26, 2025 session of the zoning enforcement hearings. My name is Robert Maslin. I'm the hearing officer. We are in the conference room at the Planning and Zoning Department, Norwalk City Hall, 125 East Avenue, Norwalk. And it is 2:00 in the afternoon. I am going to go down the list. We have a combined session today because the other hearing officer has been unavailable, so I'm gonna pick up a few of his cases and plus the rest of them that I have. So what I'll do first is kind of like we'll go down the list and see who's here and who's short and who's long. So the first two items look like they're related, 65 Van Zandt Street and 28 Rowan Street.
That is
Is
correct.
that yours, Mr. Hayducky?
That is, they are
How
indeed.
long do you anticipate with that?
Well, it all depends. The owner said he was gonna try to be here for 2:00 exactly. He is not here at the moment. I will do it.
Well, once we get going, how long do you?
It could be 20 minutes, maybe 30, somewhere in there.
20 minutes. Okay, Fort Point, 14 Fort Point,
That should be fairly quick unless the owner shows up unexpectedly. That should only be a few.
what do you mean?
Well, the owner, we've had this in a
Are
hearing.
you gonna dispose of it or?
No, that one, I'm looking for a fine.
All right, so that may take I'll put 5 minutes in.
Yeah, that's good.
If
That's
the owner, do you expect the owner?
No, I don't expect him at all. It'd be a complete surprise if he showed up.
Okay, 51 North Bridge Street,
There is nobody showing up for that one. That should take, 2 minutes because I'm looking to close it out.
do you need me to do anything other than close it?
We just go through it just to make sure that, you agree that should be closed.
We'll do it at the end.
No, fair enough.
No one's coming, so I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
no one's there for that.
make people wait when the owner's on here. 18 Robbins Square East.
That is off the agenda.
Okay.
I took it off the minutes.
Then, the next several items are, Mr. Hall, 44 Grandview Avenue.
Yes, they are here. That should take 2 minutes. That's it.
2 minutes?
Yes.
That usually means you're close to resolving.
Yes.
Okay. 19 Grove,
They will not be attending. However, I still want to briefly discuss it. Again, like 2 minutes. I'm gonna push to continue it.
I'll move it to the end, but they're definitely not coming.
Yes.
Not on,
Correct. Yeah, they won't be in attendance.
9 Fulmar,
Yes, they are here. Probably say 5 minutes to talk about it. Should be quick.
okay. 56 Nursery Street, this looks familiar.
Yes, same as Fulmar. They're here, and I'd say about 5 minutes to stick.
47 Woodward,
Yes, here, and this one will probably be longer. I'd say 15, 20 minutes.
Westport Avenue.
No indication if they're coming or not. It should be.
Did we just do this? Did we do this last time?
Yes, and they're back.
It's a smoke shop or something?
Yes.
Vape shop?
Mhm. We
Is this
issued,
a new violation?
we issued a citation last hearing and assessed a fine. And, so due to the state statute, we could reassess if we can recite with,
And you recited it and we're on
Yes.
for a whole brand new,
correct, yes.
all right. Are they here?
Do not believe so. No, and I don't believe they will be coming.
And,
Let's say 5 minutes around.
yeah, but I'll put it at the end. Okay, Mr. Dolberg, are you there?
I got it. Let's go out of time.
Allowed to talk.
Yep. Attorney Dolberg, you there? So,
But do you know which matter he's here on?
Yes, he should be here for 47 Woodward.
37 Woodward. That's the first one, right? Oh,
Um,
no,
so that's, item J, one of the line ones.
Mr. Dahlberg?
his microphone's not moving, so I don't know if it's a sound thing on his end.
All right. All right, all right, so the first one we'll do is D on the agenda, 51 North Bridge Street.
Sure.
I said N before, but you're gonna close this, right?
Right, is,
Okay.
the other thing is just see if you agree with the fact that I should be closing it.
Okay, tell me.
So basically
you
this
gave me the
was,
Memo, right? Or-
yep, it should be in there.
No, I don't think so, but go ahead.
So here, yeah, I'll put up on the screen really quick. And let's see, where are they? There we go. 51 North Bridge.
Looks like a long history.
It's a bit of a history, but, after some coaxing, they definitely, they got things squared away. The last time they were here was in February 19th. Attorney Obers placed a $10,000 contingent fine to be resolved by March 19th. On March 9th, the owner informed me that via email that the truck's materials and equipment had been removed. I was out of the office that week, so I did not get up, immediately. On March 11th, I responded to the March 9th email saying that I would do a follow-up inspection. Inspections were conducted on the 14th, 18th, and 25th of March. Removal of vehicles and equipment were confirmed, and I just have a couple of pictures here up on the screen. So this was the first inspection that was done by Inspector Hall on the 14th.
Where's North Bridge Street?
So this is off of, you gotta go Strawberry Hill to
Is that the
Schofield.
one where it goes over that little bridge over the?
That's the
railroad?
front part. So if you go, the easiest way to get there, to be honest, is off of Strawberry Hill.
Yeah, but that's the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's in the back there. It's a little old subdivision. So the property we're talking about is in the back here. They had a bunch of vehicles, masonry equipment, and so this little pocket here, this is actually another property, that's vacant, undeveloped, that they were using for storage, but they got out of there. The person who owned that property was not happy, so I think that helped out a lot.
Are they happy now or?
Oh, they're happy. Yeah, they're much happier now. Actually, it was one of the neighbors in the rear that was really, the impetus behind this. And here's just some close-ups.
Have we heard anything from the neighbors
Actually, we did,
since you got the ball rolling?
we did actually to confirm that the activity had stopped. And they were very appreciative of it. So, and then here, these are just recent pictures, just so you can see that there's still no activity there. These were taken, yesterday.
So there's a contingent fine and. But you're satisfied that everything's correct?
I'm
But
satisfied.
You wanna pursue the fine or?
And no, this one I do not. Attorney Ober said it was contingent upon, compliance by March 19th. They told me, March, 9th, and then we verified the next week, so I think
Okay.
they were good to their word.
Okay,
So we do have the
Alright.
decision form here somewhere. There we go. Gary's name is still on this one, so we're gonna cross it out. Make an easy one there.
was there a hearing on this?
There was on February 19th. There was also one on
But
January.
it kept open?
19th. He kept it open,
Okay.
right, to allow them the opportunity to remedy.
What day was the hearing open?
The hearing itself was opened on January 19th. And, Attorney Overs continued it twice.
Yeah, but just, you don't need this then.
No, it's just, didn't.
Okay.
Oh,
That's just a thing for the,
yeah, okay, we're good.
okay. Next, all right, so that's that one, and, Mr. Dolberger with us here, or is he?
Let's see if I can, I just had an idea that may help to get him, on board here. Let's see, I'll ask him to unmute one more time. Attorney Dolberg, can you hear us? Because we cannot hear you if you are talking. Speakers are on.
Okay,
Oh, he's up. Let's see what we got.
oh, here we are.
There he is.
Raised
You
his
know-
hand.
Yeah, you know, what? I'm gonna actually promote him to panelist here. Sometimes I'll do it. Okay,
Mr. Dolberger, you with us?
and he says
He'll
he's,
be rejoining as a panelist, okay.
yeah, he doesn't have his video on, and he is muted as well.
He's not muted.
He's not, no, he went back and forth there. for a
Yeah, but
moment.
now he's like trying to talk and we're not hearing.
Yeah, I can't hear him. Ours is working.
Do you have sound up?
Oh, there we go.
There you go.
There you go.
Hello? Can you hear me?
Oh, we got you.
Can you hear me?
Yep, you hear us.
I have been listening all along. And
Okay.
Attorney Maslin, I am still here.
I was just gonna send a middle schooler over to help you with the technology.
No, I think it's at your end. I think mine's working fine, although I'm down in Florida at the moment.
Oh, that
That
explains it.
explains everything.
Which matter are you here on?
47 Woodward Avenue.
Oh, Woodward.
Yes.
Is that?
That's
That's
on
one of
mine.
yours. Okay, all right, what do we have left for yours?
We have the first two there, 65 Van Zant and 28 Rowan, and then
Are the-
14.
Are the owners here?
The owner is here.
Okay. Jay, we'll get to you in a few minutes, all right?
No problem. I'm enjoying this.
All right,
You're
Jay.
making us jealous being in Florida.
I know, right?
Okay,
All right, Jay, we're gonna mute you for a second.
65 Van Zant and 28 Rome Street, are these combined?
Yeah, we'll combine, yeah.
Okay, the owner's here?
Yes.
So, have a seat at the table here?
Yeah, here's the presentation and all the good.
What's the upshot of this thing?
At this point, we have had we've had progress. The issue was at first, storage of some, commercial contractor equipment at the property, which is prohibited. Sorry, at the properties
Right.
at both zones.
Well, let
And-
me just, I went through your
Yeah.
memo.
Mhm.
There was a demo permit, the demo permit was closed
Correct,
back in, August 24.
correct.
Was it closed because the demolition was completed, or was it closed because the permit
But
expired?
it was completed.
Was done, yeah.
All right. And after that, it looks like equipment was left on the premises
That's correct.
and looks like January, a permit application
It was,
was
right,
filed. Is that pending?
a special permit application is pending, still. I'm sure the owner may be a little bit more
Can I
familiar
explain?
with that process,
Just a second.
because it's with our, planners, our principal planners.
Right, but it's going to the planning and zoning commission.
Yeah, not in the immediate future. There's still some things that are missing before it can go to the commission.
Can you be a little more specific?
I think we still need from last I talked to Brian, we still needed the
Traffic.
traffic
report, yeah.
report. And we also needed some, things they need some architectural dates as well.
We do have all the civil engineering design. I
Okay,
was
so
just, I was just,
you are Milan
correct,
Verbelski.
correct, yes.
Okay. You sound good with English. You don't need a Polish interpreter or anything. No, I'm serious. We want to make sure if we need an interpreter, we do it. You're good? Good.
Yes.
Okay. So what are you proposing?
So we get the demo permit, right?
Yeah,
So we did the demo, complete the job, move all the dirt, try to clean it, and we're still designing and redesigning the plans. So we
Okay.
don't really finalize the plans. So
Okay.
that's why,
is there a picture or
sure.
maybe an aerial or something we can put up?
Yes,
So I can get it.
so let me stop
Do you have any
sharing.
plans with you?
I don't have a plans with me.
Or
They
a-
have
or
a
a
plans,
map or
they
anything?
do have a copy of
Yeah,
the
let's
plans
just-
of the design. We
take up
submitted.
Everybody's time here while we're looking through stuff, but if you could do the,
Let's do a quick Google aerial, you can see where. I also have
yeah,
close
but
ups.
do an aerial view so I
Yeah,
can see
yeah,
what
absolutely,
what I'm looking at.
yeah, absolutely.
Or the GIS file.
There we go.
Now, that's next,
This
is that
was,
the old deli?
That's the old
that
Jimmy,
was
yeah.
old Jimmy's Deli, but this is really old.
Right.
So,
This is as the demo was happening.
Okay, and is it front to back?
Correct, yeah,
I
this is,
mean, back to back properties?
yeah, 28
Yes.
Rowan is here.
Okay, so what's the status of the property today?
so we finalized the plans, we submit the plans.
No,
and-
no, the property, not the permit, the property. Is there, what's there?
Oh,
I can show that.
Okay,
I'm glad you asked. So let me scroll through here. So this is there's a couple, of them. This was from March 17th.
Mhm.
This is what it looked like here, excavator, couple dumpsters. Second photo, this is from the Rowan Street side.
Mhm.
And then this is from March 19th, a couple days later, excavator is removed. So a couple dumpsters. And I was just out there this morning, very similar photo.
is there any activity?
Uh,
Any activity going on there, or is this
nothing
this
till
stuff
we get,
just still sitting there?
no, nothing, we moved the machine, the machine wasn't running, so
Mhm.
that's why it took me too long. So after the John called me to remove, we had the 3 machines on the site. So those two
What
I
are you
removed.
planning to do on the site?
We do have a plans design. I don't know if, I have them in an email. If you want, I can show.
What
you.
is it?
Apartment
Commercial,
building.
residential?
It's a residential. It's a 3.5 story. Parking under 2 stories and 3rd floor. We designed
What,
22,
Parking and then 2 full stories and a half story?
correct, yeah,
Okay,
apartment building. But we're waiting for the traffic report completed.
Mhm.
Then we can finalize the special permit. So it's all like in progress.
okay. How close are you to
Very
completing all
close.
that?
Yeah, I just received the email from the traffic report guy getting in trouble. So I should have a traffic report in the next couple of days. And the civil engineer already done all the design. And I just wanna submit it in a
Is there a
nutshell.
blight complaint on this, or?
I am unaware if there is one. I've got to check with the blight officer. I think it did come through our system as both to zoning and to blight, but with their status.
After the demolition, or?
Yes. far as I'm aware, again, for them, theirs, I can't speak up. I think they do have a file. I just don't know when they actually got it. Can't confirm that.
Okay,
We do have somebody, we have an interested party.
what is, okay.
Okay.
So the actual violation is 4.3.98.
Correct. Yeah. I said it did.
What zone are we in?
The CD, it is a CD3, correct. I do have, the regs up here as well if needed.
Plain CD3, right? Not
Correct,
W or C or anything.
correct. Well, there is I believe there's an overlay on here for East Avenue Village, for, a TOD, I believe. Let me. Yes, there is. The
What is
properties
that?
right here. So this is basically, it's a, um, East Avenue Transit, district. So basically allows for more density for residential and,
Well, that's a density thing.
yeah, it's a
but-
density
but-
thing. It's not
But the
used,
uses are the same?
are under the CD3C.
Okay. Raw material storage. I'm looking at well, let's see. Building material storage yard. And that says. A lot building site with or without structures used for the storage of equipment and materials used in building construction. Commercial vehicle storage. Storage yard. Earth processing, is there a processor there?
There is some leftovers concrete from the demolition.
No,
We-
processing machine,
There is,
crusher.
no, never. We never use any crusher on a side. We just break everything and remove all those concrete and bricks out.
That definition for earth processing, contractor material storage is a pretty broad definition in the book.
But we didn't do any like a processing of the material, so.
Right. Okay, so the demo was completed in August and. What did the other hearing officer say so far on this?
He
Or is
just,
this just on your list because it's, but this was,
he just continued it to the, he found a violation
okay,
and he continued it to March, 19th to allow for,
to
the
today,
owner to
well,
continue
for
to,
last week.
right, and then kicked it to today.
So what's there today? Is that,
That's what
when
was
were those
here. This was from. Ooh, where are we? No, not there. Here we go. I'll get it. There we go. So this was this morning, right here. We have a couple piles here. 2 dumpsters.
No, I understand that,
Yeah.
but he's got an application pending. He's getting together. And this is, we're in between demo and, right? And
Correct, the
permits.
demo was completed because it's,
No, I got
so
that.
they
I got
have to, so there has to be a active permit for use of the property as storage and,
What, do you know what the condition of the building was before the demo?
It was in fairly good shape. I don't have a photo of it. I can probably get a, Google
So
Street
is,
View.
is this one of those things where the owner made the mistake of demolishing too soon?
I think, to be fair, the owner started demolishing, got the demo permit after we got everything in there finished. And then, there was the storage
Yeah, but he
equipment
wasn't
and
ready,
vehicles.
he wasn't ready to go with the other.
No, he was
Yeah,
not,
part of
and, right, was not, and probably should have, received a notice a little bit sooner from us, full disclosure, but for after
There
a
are
few months of.
More than a couple violations that hang out there for
Oh.
years before.
Oh,
it even happens.
I know, so, I think it's a combination of those factors and
okay.
plus now, yes, he is close. I don't know exactly how, if you were to ask our principal planner, Brian, I'm not sure. He may give a little more specific how close you are to an actual meeting, to actually getting in front of the commission. But, it's not gonna be next week, obviously.
Well, no, but if the application's in,
It is.
did you send the neighbor notices out when you file the application? Is that still the rule for
There,
special
you
permits?
do need to notify the neighbors,
When you
but
file it? In addition
Correct.
to, for the public hearing?
correct, but that's at I believe, the officer who is handling the application, basically informs the owner to do that.
Oh, so he'll tell him.
He has to tell them when,
okay.
correct, because if, for example, if
If
it's
he
deficient,
files it as a complete application, then
right, if it's deficient, there's no sense in,
that's true.
notifying.
When was this filed?
That's a good question. I have,
Mr. Pavelski, when did you actually file this special permit?
We
application?
didn't.
Was it January?
So we sent the plans back in November last year. To Brian to review it. And, after
Was
that,
that a pre-application review, or did you actually file a application?
pre-application, yes.
Pre-application,
correct.
okay.
And then after that, talking back and forth, the John told me they need the 3 hard copies.
Right,
So what I did, I print the copies, the plans was done, completed, designed. We're all happy about design, and I showed the John, and I brought 3 copies in here. And we filed the application, and I think this happens in
in
January,
January, correct.
right, but you
Yep.
started with the pre-application
back
sometime before that,
in November,
November?
correct. And I was thinking, I don't know that it's not legal to keep the machines on the site. So after the demo, we just, move all the debris. And I left
I got
the
it, I got
excavators on the site.
I know what you did, you
Yeah,
demolished it
we
too
did the
soon,
whole
you didn't
thing,
have a
yeah.
permit to build something else, so now it sits in between,
Correct,
right?
yes.
Now, how do you close a demo permit?
That's a great question for the building department.
So I called building department and they only wanted to see, all leveled up. You cannot
Okay.
leave after
Can't leave a
demo,
hole.
you cannot leave the hole.
Right.
So we backfilled the whole hall
Okay.
because we took all the foundation out. There was like 9 or 10 foot ceiling. It was a big hole, we backfilled whole thing and we closed the permit.
Okay. Okay, I think I have a pretty good. Oh, let's.
I was just looking up
Permit file?
yeah, I was gonna look up
Can
the,
you get
information
into the
there.
building? The,
I have I can't get into their specifics, but I can get some dates. That's there, I might be under 65. It is. There's the demolition.
Completed, it says.
Yep, and I get the exact date. It
What's
says completed.
expired there?
That's their automatic date they put in if it's not
Oh, like
completed.
like a trigger date,
Yeah.
6 months.
So the close date was July 11th, 2024. And that's Leo Guerrero, Assistant Building.
Oh, okay, all right.
Leo was the inspector.
And you started,
We started in the May after we got the.
right, but you started working on a new project
Correct.
when?
Oh, we started,
All along?
no,
Probably, right?
no,
You bought- But did you just buy this property? or
no,
is it
I
somebody?
bought it September, 20.
Did you own it when the deli was open?
No,
Okay,
no, I bought it September 23.
okay,
And then we started working on a design and we're still wasn't, so it took us like almost a 6 months or longer to figure out how many units we can build actually. Because to have the 20 units apartment, you have to require like a green, passive house. So took us too long to study how the passive house works.
okay,
And we were able to build a passive house building.
all right. And this is a special permit use?
Correct. And it's also a coastal area as well.
Well, coastal because it's not single family, but,
And that's within 1,000 feet of the water.
right.
So,
Right, but there's no, I mean, what are the coastal? areas?
yeah, it's gonna be minor.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think we have in, on Zoom here. So let's see if I can,
What I'm understanding from all of this is that you're in between demolition being completed and finishing up your application.
Yes,
And has the owner been diligent about and responsive to you?
yes, he has responded whenever he's on the letter, he's
I mean,
emailed me
after,
immediately, which I have.
Yeah, but I don't mean call you up and then forget about it.
Oh, no.
No. no,
I do have the email
Okay,
in there.
so after I received the email and call from John, I moved it to machine and the next day and he wanted to see it. Only the reason the big machine, I couldn't remove it back in January, I guess, was the call and we had like technical issues, the machine won't start, so I had to fix. I called the dealer Cobelco, they came twice, they were not able to fix it. So then after I had another mechanic fix the machine and we are able to start and we moved it in
Yeah,
next day
I got
and.
it. I got it. Okay. Now. The other hearing officer has something here. Findings. Violation found, no fine at this time. Continued to 3/19, which is now today. Must have all equipment, vehicles and materials removed. How close are we to that?
I would
You got a
say
dumpster there, right?
the dumpsters are there, but I think, we had a conversation this morning, actually, very soon this meeting, and I did heard on the phone that he is scheduled for tomorrow to remove the dumpster.
Yeah, but I honestly, I did not know that dumpsters has to go. So if I would knew, I
Well, I
would,
don't know if you call that equipment or not.
it's
To
to
a
me,
lot of people, equipment is like a digger and a, yeah.
yeah, so that's what my understanding when I received the letter and read
Commercial
the
sites
letter.
have dumpsters there permanently. So,
I understand,
understand
and
the
I
confusion.
told John, I'm happy to remove it, they are on the schedule, I called them,
do you have any other projects going?
no, not right
This
now.
is it?
No, yeah,
Are you a regular builder,
yeah,
developer? Okay. I don't know.
yeah.
Okay,
We built 5 townhouses down across the street at 12.
Okay. so the dumpster's going tomorrow. What else is left?
Nothing,
The only things that, what you
I mean,
could
you got a fence
consider,
around it,
yeah,
but that's
fence
a
would be-
safety thing.
just some of the, I think there's a pallet of,
there is just
Yeah.
the leftovers concrete left that we didn't fit it into the triaxles. So,
Okay.
so we separated concrete from
Are you gonna
rebars
use it
and
for the new
bricks.
project? It's some.
No,
Just.
no, it's gotta get removed, but all the machines are gone now.
Yeah.
So I don't know
So
any,
they got you to the point where you can't bring the machines on.
now, no.
Okay, I got it. Okay, anybody else?
But, we had on Zoom, we have a,
Sure.
participant. All right, Diane, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Hayducky. Attorney Maslin, good to see you.
Good to
Diane
see you.
Cece.
I can't see you. I see that little.
Wait, no,
Oh,
Each
yeah, I'm
note-
not, I may be screen worthy, so I can come over if you like, but it's,
No,
I
no.
would say it's good to be seen or not to see me. You may not want to see me. That's okay too. Attorney Maslin, I hardly know where to start, but I'll try to be brief because I know you have other cases before you. And certainly the other attorney is very familiar with this. I'm not sure if you swore Mr. Probowski in, but I have to tell you at this point that he's being disingenuous at best. And maybe the sin of omission, but you're certainly not seeing the whole story on this case. And Mr. Hayducky, I wish you would join in and confirm what I'm about to tell Mr. Maslin. So first of all, I'm Attorney Maslin. I'm representing the East Norwalk Neighborhood Association. We filed the original complaints on behalf of the neighborhood and on residents who expressed some fear of retribution if they were to do so themselves. So ENNA is the original filer for both the zoning and the blight. Mr. Probowski is not a homeowner who doesn't know the regulations and innocently use this property to his advantage to store equipment. And I'll talk about a boat in a minute. He is a professional renovator, remodeler, builder. He knows very well the regulations regarding storing commercial vehicles and having a commercial construction vehicle storage site. He has property that he owns that he could have stored this equipment on. And I assume he has a contractor yard or rental yard elsewhere. The first thing I want you to know is that these violations actually date back to September of 2023, when the first violation reported was the illegal storage of a boat on the property. The first picture that Mr. Hayducky brought up to you from the original Google shows the boat on the 28 Rowan Street side. It took months for Mr. Probowski to comply to get the boat off of that site. It was a clear violation. There wasn't a citation that resulted in fines. I have no explanation for that. I hope to address that at a later date with Mr. Hayducky and staff. The excuse for the violation with the boat sitting there was that the boat trailer had a flat tire. And so Mr. Probowski saw no rush in getting it out of there, although he happens to own multiple boat slips right down the street in that Platt Street area as well. So he really was taking advantage of owning a property where he could store his boat and then subsequently the construction equipment. The boat was subsequently removed. I don't know how far after Mr. Hayducky can tell you, but that took forever. A blatant disregard for the neighborhood and, certainly an issue of blight, but also the zoning violation. Now, to the property itself, when there's no issue with the demolition of Jimmy's Deli. The issue going on there is that the construction equipment was stored illegally when there was no demolition permit applied for, even though he told staff that he had applied for a demolition permit. He did not. It was only afterwards, during this process of the violation, that he subsequently published the notice and then applied for the demolition permit. The demolition was essentially complete, according to John. Maybe you could confirm this. According to Bill Ireland, the demolition itself was entirely complete in either May or June, and the closeout date for it was July. And so when you're seeing August, that has to do with additional work that he had to do, I think, to actually get the legal document closing out the demolition. So the equipment has been sitting there. It's been an eyesore and a blight and a zoning violation on our neighborhood this whole time, despite repeated requests to move it. And I think Mr. Hayducky was more than liberal in terms of trying to get compliance before assessing fines. And at this point, we're looking for the maximum fine to be collected, but also immediate compliance at this point. In terms of the equipment itself, despite the repeated requests from staff to remove it, the equipment continued to sit there on both properties, the excavator and I'm not sure what the blue thing is called, but another piece of equipment. The illegal dumpsters, Mr. Probowski is very much aware as a professional that he cannot have dumpsters on site, nor the piles of construction debris, nor the hole that I believe is still there collecting water and is a hazard. And the last time I checked, the gate was open as well. The excuse for the equipment not being moved was something to do with it not starting, and he had to wait for a repair or a battery or something. But it's been one excuse after another, going back to September of 2023 with this property. So I think what you're hearing here is not the entire story, and I think that Mr. Probowski should be a little bit more clear with you exactly to the sequence of events. I'm not sure what the current permit application has to do with anything with your decision, but I can tell you that as far as Brian Baker and zoning is concerned, this is not an active special permit because it is incomplete. It has been incomplete since the day Mr. Probowski walked in with his original plans. Brian Baker and his staff have repeatedly advised Mr. Probowski to file the appropriate paperwork so that it would be deemed an application and then would come, before the zoning commission, the rest of the process. So he was missing still the traffic information, the rest of the architectural design. He does need a CAM review, as Mr. Hayducky just indicated, and Brian Baker confirmed that. And I've also confirmed with Brian Baker that their initial review of these bonus amenity points that Mr. Probowski was alluding to for the 20 units, because it's in a special district, that their preliminary review of those as well are probably not going to fly in terms of this being compliant with what the zone is. So I would suggest to you, Attorney Maslin, that this permit application to build is nowhere near being ready to go to prime time. So if you're taking that into account in terms of what your remedy is today, I would say that staff, you can consult with staff if you're going to continue this and continue the fines, but I would suggest that staff would also confirm that this application is nowhere near. So our neighborhood, East Norwalk neighborhood, the abutting neighbors have all been putting up with these violations and the blight. And I'm sorry to put it this way, but Mr. Probowski's blatant disregard for our community. And so that's why we finally insisted in December, enough was enough. We've been very patient. We understand things that, happen that are out of someone's control, but none of the things that Mr. Probowski faced, even you would consider a hardship. He could have had the boat towed by a professional towing company and store that in the marina thing, whatever you call it, that he owns. And he also could have had the equipment towed out of there as well. So there's no particular hardship involved either. I'm sorry if I appear to be barking, but this has just gone on for way too long. I think this person is taking advantage of the patience of Mr. Hayducky and the fact that the neighborhood association and the neighbors haven't taken this to whatever the next level of recourse would be for us. And I hope that you consider these facts, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you want to swear me in.
Well, you've just given us 15 minutes of testimony without being sworn in.
Well, I will swear now
If you-
that
if you
everything I
spoke-
just said to you is the truth, if you want to swear me in.
The hearing, that's okay. The hearing was started in his, I assume Mr. Oberst swore him in before, so that still applies. So he's still under oath because we're in the same proceeding. Mr. Probowski, you heard Ms. Cece. Do you have any response or any
Sure.
questions for her?
So the first,
I'm sorry, Attorney Maslin, before you do that, I'm not sure that I believe Mr. Probowski has failed to show up at the
I'm
prior
looking back.
hearings.
I'm looking back now there, Diane.
Fine,
here, a
let's,
couple-
while you're looking
So-
that up,
Yeah.
go ahead.
so I made a couple notes when you were talking. So there was never park or storage any commercial vehicle. None. Never park overnight, one single night. There was no commercial vehicle park
I
overnight.
think she was talking about the machines.
The machines, yes, I agree. There was two excavators. The one, the blue purple you were talking, that's a small, like small size excavator, and one bigger one. There was a one, like a loader, like skid steer, but no commercial vehicle. So back to 923 boat. So I don't know that I cannot park the boat on my property. So after I received the letter, I saw the dates to be removed without any violation and fine, and I moved that boat on time. There was
Let
no,
me just ask the staff this question. What is, we had this boat issue come up in the past.
Correct.
And
And
it's-
that was
and
actually
it's-
in.
and
We
it's
have to
one
get rid of
boat.
this. Yeah, so
Yeah, we-
during the demo permit while it was active, we had a complaint about the boat. The boat got removed, the demo permit was still active, so all the equipment there.
Right, but generally, this issue of boat storage, I thought you kind of interpreted it down to like one boat doesn't make it a marina.
Crew, I believe so. Yes.
There's other
There was-
issues
yeah, there
like
was.
screening and stuff like that, but not the boat.
Correct, yeah,
in
like
and of
location
itself.
and
If it's
screening.
not screening, or if it's in a setback or something.
Correct, yes.
so I did not know that I cannot park the boat. If I would knew, I would never park it over there. So, but I received the letter complaint violation and I moved the boat on a time. So
Okay.
I just know 100%. And John knows that it was moved on time after I received the letter in writing and the dates, so I moved it on time.
Okay.
So took too long to finish the demo because after we demoed the foundation and demoed the building, we had the big hall and I didn't have any fill to backfill it. So it took me months and months to bring the trucks weekly, once in a week, twice in a week. There was a few trucks coming, couple trucks in a week to slowly backfill. We had maybe 50 loads, maybe
You didn't
more.
have the fill lined up? when you-
No, no,
Why not?
no, because we didn't have any fill coming to Norwalk, so I didn't have.
So don't dig a hole.
I mean, we tried to backfill it, but we didn't have.
I got that,
enough
but
fill.
you're doing a significant demolition project, you know you're digging out a foundation, you need fill.
We used the fill, yes, with the
I know.
trucks coming, but took too longer to backfill it and close the permit. So then the gates maybe was open
Those are
sometime.
temporary fences. with
Temporary
gates that-
fence.
I understand.
Like,
that.
I remember I left the gate open a couple times because when the dump trucks that were like city carting was coming in, they didn't pick up the dumpster because the gate was closed, locked. So I left the gates open
Yeah.
a couple times to pick up the dumpster, and I think it's open now because they picking up the dumpsters tomorrow. Tomorrow, yes. The big machine, there was in the winter, we had that problem with the bigger machine. After I received that letter from John or a town hall violation, John can say that I moved and I called and I sent him the picture that I moved those two machines, and the next day they were removed immediately. And the traffic report, so we should get the traffic report in the next couple of days. We do have the traffic report. So the guy who's doing the traffic report, office in Trumbull. So there is two traffic reports, and they didn't know what exactly traffic the town required, and they talked to John or to you or Brian.
Brian.
They talked to Brian and I received the email, and Brian confirmed what exact traffic report he needed, and he gonna finish it and send it to us. And the civil engineering, the drains and all the stuff that was already designed, I'm just waiting to submit it in a
Who's the engineer?
It's a guy in from town. His name is Dean Martin.
Okay.
And the points to do the density.
Who's your traffic consultant?
His name is Matthew. I don't remember his last name. They have an office in
Trouble.
yes,
Sure,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. It was recommended with I don't know who
Okay.
recommended it.
Alright.
And I think we compliant for all the points we need to get those 20 units. The architect who designed,
That's a conversation
that's
with
something
Brian
else.
and the
Yes,
commission. All right.
yes.
Anything else in response to
Mm,
CC?
I don't really put any notes
Right.
into that response.
Okay, the other hearing officer said it says here, possible maximum fine at 3/19/25 hearing, $7,500. What I'm gonna do here, because you say the dumpsters are going tomorrow. Mr. Oberst has all the background on this. I just stepped into this today. My knowledge of this consists of the last 20 minutes of conversation. So in fairness to everybody, including the neighborhood association and the neighbors, when is Mr. Oberst coming back?
At the moment, he is anticipated to be back. The next hearings would be April 16th.
April 16th, all right. I will continue this to April 16th, 2 p.m. with Mr. Oberst at 3? 3
His
o'clock.
meetings are at 3.
His are at 3. So he can pick up where we left off today. He's got much more of the background. I don't think it would be fair for me to make a decision on the fine, particularly, but I'm not gonna let the fine go without hearing from Mr. Oberst. So, plus you have other things to do, and you may have the application completed by then. That'll be, if he wants to consider that, he can, he doesn't have to. I'm sure Ms. Cece will be back for that session as well. So that's what I'm gonna do.
Fair enough.
All right, so we're continuing this to April, what date?
16th.
16, 3 p.m. here in the conference room.
I will, and just as a aside, just in case Attorney Oberst cannot have the hearings, would you be
Well, if
willing
you get a
to?
hold of me ahead of time,
Okay,
I'll study the file,
okay,
okay?
Yeah.
And we'll go from there.
Okay.
And these are recorded, right? These-
right, these are requests, so you can go
So
back
I'll be able to go back and
and, just,
see the previous videos.
there's no anticipation that Attorney Oberst would not be here.
No, I got it,
Just
I
in
got it,
case.
but I don't wanna, I
And
mean, this is a
it's-
significant case with a significant violation. And he's already got a fine in mind. I don't wanna,
and it's a Wednesday,
Correct.
April 16. I may not to be here on April 16. That's the another thing.
We could arrange, there's always a possibility we can arrange a special meeting if need be,
go on Zoom.
or you can be on Zoom. We don't have to be here in person. We can do on Zoom, or unless you're,
But if I'm traveling, driving, I cannot do Zoom.
Well, that's what the date is, so
yeah, that's,
whatever
that
you have
is,
to do, you gotta do.
we can figure out how to get you through, or we can always see if Attorney Oberst is open to a special meeting as well.
Right.
Attorney Maslin, before you close this hearing, just a point of clarity, maybe John can
By the way,
clarify. Fine.
We're still open, hold on, we're
Okay.
still open, it's being adjourned, so.
Okay,
I wanna
okay.
make it clear.
Gotcha, okay. And just for John to clarify, the fine, that $7,500, because this is two distinct parcels still with the city, the violations exist on both parcels. So the 7,500, I believe, is double, and until the violations are cleared, right? Is that right, John?
That is
Is it-
correct, unless there is proof otherwise that they are not on both properties.
Right,
So just
which
so you
there
know,
isn't, okay.
I'm not deciding one way or the other, but the flip side of that point is this is a single site, if the project is a single site.
Now,
Well, as
the
of right now-
project,
I
the project is
understand
not,
what you're saying,
Mhm.
I understand what you're saying, but you can have a commercial
Yeah.
site with 3 or 4 different sets of boundaries and parcels. And if there's one violation, it's one violation. I'll leave
No,
that
there-
up for Mr. Oberst, I hear you, I understand what
right,
you're saying.
got it, okay, no, thank you, yep, just for the record, it's clear, I only wanted it clear in the record that it's the two violations, thanks.
I got it, I understand. Okay, so we're adjourned until, this matter is adjourned until April 16th, 2025, 3 p.m. here in this room.
Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, John.
no problem, Diane. Let me, oh, no, cancel. Another, just get up here real quick. Okay.
All right, let me see what else is, what's. Fort,
Milan, you're all set, buddy.
Cross.
You're all set,
14
yeah.
Fort Point Street,
That one should be, much quicker.
what do you, yeah, what do we, okay, is somebody here on
Can I
that?
ask question? Can I ask a question?
We're adjourned,
Oh,
you can ask him later.
okay.
Yeah, you, want to drop in tomorrow morning?
Sure.
We can go over, we can go everything tomorrow morning.
All right, thank
All
you.
right, thanks,
guys.
man. Yep,
Oh, wait, Mr. Dolberg is patiently waiting, what?
he is apparently 47 Woodward.
Oh, that's yours.
Is gonna be in, so I can, like I said, I'm hoping this one here is
Nobody's here on Fort Point?
14 Fort Point, going once, going twice, gone.
Do you know Carlos?
I think he's with, maybe.
Yeah, I know Carlos, yeah, he's with Attorney Dolman.
We do have some quick continuances we could do for some people out here, if we want to.
Oh, you want to do that? Yeah,
If you prefer that, just,
yeah, we could do that, which,
want to do 56 Nursery first? That is, should be item,
that's the one with the detached garage
Correct,
that's
yeah.
on state property.
correct, yes. So, pretty much the update is it was.
Anybody
moved-
here on that, or?
Yes, we have the, homeowner here. It was moved, we're just waiting on the surveyor to go back and do a new survey to confirm it's in the correct place, but it was moved this weekend, I can confirm that.
Okay, continue to,
The next hearing, which will be, our hearing will be April 23rd.
Okay.
And another quick one we could do.
2 o'clock, April 23rd.
I'll let him know. And, another one.
And I'll fill the thing out later.
9 full March, too, that could be a quick, continuance.
Is this the one,
The clear cutting with.
that's like the whole side of the property?
Correct, yes. So this one, we were waiting on a special permit application to be made, and one was made, 2 weeks ago, I believe.
One
So-
of the owners fell ill.
Yes, they're right. Yes.
We're
We're here. Our usual seats back
Yes.
here. You don't have to turn around.
All right,
But yes, the special permit application was made. They haven't been placed on a hearing yet for the commission, but.
so you're just gonna continue to the April, you wanna go to April or
Do the
May?
May one, just to, we don't have the specific date that.
I got the calendar right here. There you go.
Yeah, but I got some things in May, hold on.
But we could also do June. We can skip them. If we have an April meeting as well.
Oh, you're not getting out of that easy.
Yeah.
Oh, March. March, okay. All right, what, Wednesday, right?
Yes,
21st,
That's our hearings.
28th?
I can do 20th, yes.
The application with Alexis is complete.
Ryan. 28th.
Oh, it's special permit.
Special
it's
permit, yeah,
not-
not,
oh,
wetlands.
Okay,
And I'll have a mail out for you guys too.
Now, is that when he brought the plans in?
Yeah,
gave him the application.
right, yeah, so, he's gonna put you on a commission date, but for us, we'll meet next in, May 28th.
So you're saying I can't do anything until then?
Wait for, because Brian will put you on for an earlier hearing for the commission instead of the violation hearing, which is this. So, he'll put you on a hearing, they'll hear it out, they'll tell you what needs to be done. And, once you get those like marching orders, we'll meet back here, go over it, and if everything's done by then, we can close it.
So he'll contact us before the May 28th.
Correct, yes, yeah,
I would
Okay.
follow up with him. just
yeah,
to-
and I could do that after.
Okay,
All right.
Okay, we're all set, thank you.
thanks.
That should be the quick piece.
Okay, what point?
Sure. I think this should be quick. Yes, I hope so.
All right, so,
The long and short here is this was another one on January that Attorney Olbers upheld. And the long and short of it, there's an illegal basement apartment to make it,
Anybody here on that one?
does not appear so.
Okay.
We have Constable Bondi's notices in your packet there to confirm delivery to the owner of record. The reason I'm pushing this one is the fire marshal's office has informed me multiple times that there is no progress to remove the living space and the bedrooms in the basement. To quote Fire Inspector Burrows, it is a damn death trap. And I have some photos here as well I can put up. There has been, they got,
So here
yes,
we have the hearing officer, violation found I don't know what this word is. Oh,
apartment, yeah.
must be made. Non-habitable?
Yeah, non-habitable, yep.
Okay.
That's per the fire marshal's orders, so,
Continue to 319, need notice. All right, you sent the notice.
yeah, it's in there. There should be a copy in there.
So we have nothing here from them. Did they
They-
not respond?
They have not responded to myself. They have not responded to any, the health department. They did invite in attorneys,
So-
fellow. They responded to the fire marshal for a follow-up inspection. And here's what their inspection photo showed. And basically this was a
This is a no-show from the start.
no-show from the start. And basically, this is all, lack of better terms, flimsy construction to create bedrooms and unfinished basement. They removed the beds.
Where's this property?
It's
It's right around the
4
corner
Street.
from the other, oh, that's
Right.
on 4 Point.
Top of 4 Point, yeah, really quickly, I can get you there. Where's 4 Point, Van Zant,
Right
4
there.
Point, what's up here? This way. 14.
14, is that up by East Avenue or down the other end?
Hello, Willie Mae.
I'll mute him.
Yeah,
I can do that. Dude. There we go. I can do that.
yeah, I just clicked, yeah.
Okay. Down here, it's on this end. Corner of Van Zant.
Oh,
So if we do a street view really quick. The entrance is down here. Oh, there's a bed ready to go down there. Door's open. Look at that. Sometimes Google helps.
okay,
All
all right,
So,
so
yeah.
so he found a violation.
He did
He
based
set
on.
a fine of 7,500 as of the 19th. You've heard nothing. The
Right.
fire marshal has found a violation. They have their own enforcement mechanism.
They-
shut the house down.
They're trying but they're even having, they have contact with the owner and they're actually have passed this off to the state attorney's office,
Okay,
Attorney Savoy, and
Alright.
but it's still in that process. So I think it's
Okay.
just, we're looking for a fine just to put on the land records and to send to the owner via our corporation counsel to say, hey, knock it off. This is not the first time he's done this either. There's a history here of him putting people in small bedrooms down there with no windows, no ventilation.
all right.
So,
Based on the record, and the previous finding of a violation with a possible maximum fine noted by Attorney Oberst, I'm gonna impose a fine of $7,500 on this and close the file.
you want to,
The rest of it'll be up to hearing. Yeah,
Yeah.
the notices are available.
oh, no, I mean.
Yeah,
decision point.
I'll fill it out later.
Oh, okay, I'll leave it.
We got too many people waiting.
That's fine. I remember for it. Well, these are all Ian. So Ian, would you like to take the home on these? I'm sure. All right.
Okay. Mr. Dahlberg, it's your turn.
Oh, we got him back up here. I
Can you
mean,
hear me?
there we go.
Yes, sir.
All right,
You're
Counselor.
patiently waiting and I wanted to get you through before your connection failed.
Yes.
He is here representing the neighbor 49 Woodward for the case for 47 Woodward.
All right, so 40, all right, is somebody here on 47?
Yes, all right.
Step right up.
I'll take as much of my stuff out here as possible. This is a.
Okay.
Thank you, Counselor.
Also, just a
Thank you.
point of order on the, you've got the agenda, you got the memo for it, but on the agenda itself, I forgot to include the Paramount Part 34 Garner, so that is, they are here. And,
I will just,
yes,
yeah, okay.
that was on me.
Is this the one on, where there's two houses right next to
Correct,
it?
yes.
And they bumped out a little addition in the front without permits?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
Sorry, it's in the
Do you
wrong.
need an interpreter?
I'll be in.
You're in?
Yeah, I'm just,
Okay.
I just pull it up.
And you're Guillermo, and you're
Also, Guillermo.
Junior.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is John has a newer computer than me, so it's,
All right, so what's this status now?
so
They were gonna get plans and try to work something out with the building department. and-
correct, yes, and we were, went to schedule inspection, so inspection did take place, two of them actually, so one was on the. It was a few days after our last hearing, so our last hearing was the 22nd of January, and we went out on me and Leo, the building inspector, he offered to come, however, he's in a seminar, so couldn't make it to this hearing today.
Okay.
So on the 27th of January, we went out, and week and a half later, it was re-inspected on the 6th of February, and that was with, the second inspection was with the fire marshal and the health department. So two inspections were conducted after our last hearing, and I have the photos.
So
So lot, yes, a lot to unpack. So the original, so this is from the street, here's the house, this was the thing that was the part that was in question. Was the, if you want to follow along. They're all in here as well. So this bump out right here in the front was the initial.
that's
point of
one
concern.
issue, and then the other was the stairs on the side.
Correct, yes, so, this is just underneath that bump out. So it was these stairs right here, so here is 47 and here is
Is
49.
there a survey?
Yes, so.
Somebody didn't like the result.
Correct, yes. So another thing you can kind of see in the background right here, what's not noticeable to the street, we saw there was a tarp over a certain part of the building, in the back behind the staircase. So this is inside, this is jumping forward to the second. So, I'm just, for reference, I have the camera aiming up, I'm down the basement stairs. And there's some gaps
What
in
do
the
you like?
ceiling.
This picture's taken, would you do, put the camera on the floor?
There's a staircase leading down. I'm on the bottom step and I'm looking up, and these are from the fire marshal's department. These gentlemen, that is, Mr. Muhammad, not Muhammad, sorry, I'm, Guillermo Junior here. Notice that there were,
Recognize it.
yes, there were some gaps in the floor above it, and it was really cold, so I was wondering what was going on. And again, like here's where I was this
So
last
it's another
photo.
one with different types of violations. So what's the
Correct, yeah.
status now?
No update, so you can, and we actually found more, so we see that there's a bump out right here, uncompleted bump out behind the new staircase that was added.
It's almost like the two buildings are connected.
Correct, yes, so this is new, we did not notice this yellow, blue bump out either, it was the tarp, it's unfinished, kind of, the building kind of exposed at the time when we went out, and this is just me looking at it from underneath it, so you can see the bump out here. Here's 49, here's 47. Here was a tarp that you'd see earlier, so the side was bumped out.
Can I see the survey?
Yes, so this survey is not of 47, this is a 49, so Attorney Goldberg provided this to me. So this survey is of 49 Woodward, and you can see right here the bump outs. So this is a recent survey which a neighbor conducted and gave to me. You can see the property line encroachments. Just scrolling through the photos, just more.
Anything, right? The wall is like right. on
Correct,
the boundary.
yes. In the back of the property on the screen is, there's, building materials, that's just in the back. This was behind the house, this is just in the yard right here, not visible from the street. To get to the third floor, oh, if you scroll forward. You can see in the first photo,
Can you pull up the GIS map?
yes, again. Let's show you.
Kind of looked like it goes down at an angle.
Mhm.
And then the aerial view, go to themes. Yeah, okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, it looks like the overlay might be off of
correct, yeah.
just an inch or two.
Mhm.
So is that an encroachment on the other side?
This was the picture I was just showing here. That's just all the building materials that are in the back.
No, I know that, but that's over on the other neighbor's property according to the.
According to the GIS,
This is at an angle.
correct, yes.
So if you go to the GIS, it's not off that much. I know it's off, but
This,
all that little sliver there, that's all neighbor's property, right?
you know, without a survey can't of
No, I
47
got
itself, you
that,
can't
but-
confirm, but it
But I'm looking,
could be the case, yes.
you know, I mean, knowing how surveys are done,
Mhm.
you know, that line is just a straight continuation
Mhm.
down to the street.
Mhm.
All right,
Yeah, so continuing with the photos, so on the third story, that was also, you kind of see in the first photo. This bump out right here, that was added without permits as well, so should be a two.
is there
and
anything
upward.
about this property that complies?
I think the original shell that was made 100 years ago, probably.
For regulations?
Correct, yes. So that was, this bump out here was done without permits, and on the inside leading up to it, there is a separation lock for the attic. And so I'm gonna jump between photos of my first inspection and my second inspection. So here is the attic. So here is, it's at an angle, you can see where we're at the original roof. And there's a doorway here, the white one here, and another one right here. And inside,
Is that attic storage?
this common area it was storage. I have another photo below of Inspector Leo after he unplugged the light because he deemed it unsafe. You can kind of see the headspace kind of low right there. And at first, apologies for the camera, there were bedrooms inside these, the third story addition of without permits. And there was one, and this is the first one, there's like a little kitchen type thing, you know, someone's definitely living there, PlayStation, TV. And the other one was, this one, you can clearly see the child living there as well. You could see soccer stuff and everything.
You should have seen my bedroom when I was.
Your bedroom probably had egress. This one didn't. So this was looking out the
Oh.
window, so straight down 3 stories. So there was shoddy
What's the
electrical work,
egress from the third level, just the stairs?
just straight down. So that's why I called the fire marshal here. Without,
There's gotta be stairs.
on the outside, no. The staircase
The
from
one
the,
set on the inside.
yeah, the interior, yes. The one that had the door lock. So there's the electrical work. Inspector Leo Guerrero, he was unplugging things as we did the inspection because he deemed it unsafe. There's people living there. I had camera issues, so apologies for the blur. While I re-inspected it, they were removed and the smoke detectors
Wait,
were.
what's that picture?
This was the hallway.
Oh, yeah, no, the next one.
This one?
Looks like everything's in order.
Yes, so a few weeks later, it was removed, smoke detector was in. However, this whole space was illegal. This was never permitted to be built. The conditions of the height story regulations for the zone, this should have never been made. So even if it's used as
How many
unfinished
units
story,
are there?
2, so there were 2 kitchens. However, there was the separation lock for the attic space and
Yeah,
there
but
were
are the 2 kitchens, is it illegal to?
legal 2-family, yes. So the use was there, so 2-family. So second time we inspected, everything was removed and smoke detectors were in. However, again, you can kind of see the
Yeah, but
original
did
roof
the
line
fire
from there.
marshal sign off?
The fire marshal stayed longer than I did, so.
I know there are 4 units, but
They were mainly there for life safety reasons,
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I invited them, because I saw the conditions the first time with the building inspector. When I saw all the children's room and the no egress whatsoever, that's why I contacted the fire. So yeah, they were removed, and in the back, this was not
Now
visible
you
this
got
week
another
too.
box.
Another box too, no idea where this came from either.
What's that door?
That's a good question. I have no idea. There were doors in and out. It was kind of like a maze in there, the second floor.
Storage. It's 3 feet.
So, and with when I did the inspection with Mr. Guerrero,
Guillermo Junior, because you speak English, what is going on here?
In the house?
He showed me spaces that are added onto this, that no permits, there are fire safety concerns. In addition to having bump outs, one is in the front with no permits, that's in a setback, right? That's a
Correct, yes.
setback line. Then you have stairs and another bump out on the side that, according to the survey here, are on somebody else's property.
Well, we did buy this house in 2008, as
Yeah.
a fixer upper, and it was pretty bad condition. So my dad did a lot of work to it to
Yeah.
have it safe to live in
Did
it.
you
without
have permits?
At that moment, no. We're a first immigrant family, so we're not used to the
No,
law.
I
in the area.
understand that, but you just building codes, fire codes, zoning codes, permits. This has been around for a while now.
yes,
When did it
correct,
start
yes.
this?
Been since 2023, I believe.
2023?
I'm sure Attorney Goldberg has some to add for that. Goldberg, I believe.
As to the
August
date,
2023. All right,
Staff would like to make a comment. Guillermo first came to me with plans because the building department pinched him for work without permits and insisted he had done nothing beyond painting.
And might I also add, when I did the inspection with Mr. Guerrero,
Guillermo.
no,
No,
the building
building
inspector,
inspector.
Leo Guerrero, there were things with like all like pipes and electrical stuff there, zero coded to get the date stamps, and there were things from, they said you bought the property 2008, there were things 2014, 2015, 2012. So you just see all these
Date
new stuff,
stamped.
date stamped, because all the cords and everything have serial numbers on it, so. Mhm. Plumbing as well.
Mr. Goldberg, what do you want, a Golden Gate Bridge there?
can you hear me, Mr.
Yes.
Maslin?
Yeah,
Okay.
I can see you, you got the bridge there.
Yes, I'm out in San Francisco, but no, I'm only in Florida.
Okay. Now, you're an attorney and you represent the neighbor next door,
Exactly, 49 Woodward.
49, okay.
Where
And
our kids
that's
are.
where the stairs encroach.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, did you want my input?
Yes,
Mr. Hall, Mr. Hall has a very good grasp of the problems that exist. Our situation is that for the owner of 47 expanded what was a small staircase attached to his building. It shows in the survey, and had the audacity to actually attach that landing at the top, bolted it into the side of my client's building without any permission, bolted it right in. My client has been trying to get that removed. He can remove it, and we will, if nothing is done soon, remove that physically from our property. But we didn't want to create a fire hazard by so doing, but clearly a violation. And I've been trying to get this rectified for several years with letters that have gone ignored. I heard and spoke briefly with Attorney Charles Busick, who was apparently going to be involved to represent Mr. Gonzalez, but I never heard back from him. So he apparently is not involved any longer. But we want that staircase removed. We want the debris and junk in the back removed. My client's been unable to access his own property. He owns a big lot behind his building, which was formerly owned by Kai Snellman. And so these folks are just bad neighbors, and we'd like something done about it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
So it's putting the appeal type of way towards us
Okay,
because of that.
okay.
If you're encroaching on the property line.
Explícale al hombre qué es lo que pasó. Por alguna razón, yo compré la propiedad de la forma que está. No hay nada. Hay cosas ilegales. Lo único que hice ilegal fue el
Just-
ático.
Just,
¿Sí? Dígale.
just one minute, you know, because we started on this in, August of 23. August of 24, there's a violation. Scheduled a meeting for September. Requested a continuance to December. So this has been going on since a long time, over a year. Then there's a hearing notice. So
We
we meet,
received letters to stop work and that's what we've done.
yeah, but you have to correct the problems here. Let me finish. Look at this. Court. And the red part is new, right,
Yes.
Mr. Hall?
Mhm.
$47 got a survey, but did not like the results.
That was
Is
what I
that
heard.
this one, or is that?
That's what I heard from attorney Dolberg, where the property owners at 47, they can confirm, because I was not there to verify this, but they obtained a survey, but was told they didn't like the results.
Did they bring it to you, or do
No, I never saw that survey, no.
you have this?
So then
Do you have a survey?
Yep.
Ajá, survey, pero no es, I'm going to make another survey. Why? The guy no make the proper survey. The guy no make the right survey, the proper. We found, this is, do you see it right here? This is right here, this is right here.
Yeah.
We found this guy, the 49 Woodward Avenue, in 1984, take this piece the land. He no find survey in that time. If for will this wall close to only leave it 4 feet right here. He no make this blueprints this way. He can have make the wall right here, 10 feet from here. The code in 1974
Wow.
say you need between two properties leave it 10 feet, 12 feet. Now, they guy found some guy, he make it, this blueprint, he take it, my piece of land right here. That is, this staircase is maybe 80 years old. Now, everything you see between the properties is from 49 Woodward Avenue.
Well, this line matches this one.
I believe them both to be correct, and the
Yeah.
stamp
The
seal. at the
building
bottom.
might be off.
Yeah, the guy no wanna fight this guy. Why? No, he was his 1984. I can do right now, June, this, I have problem. I know how involved in lawyer, I don't know.
Yeah, but the issues on here right now are this stairway.
So how would we have a fire escape when no matter what we do, it would be going to the other?
That's what you have. You have a property that's not,
Even if it was there. when we
Set up
bought the
so you-
property.
that's right, because it's not it doesn't belong to you.
The fire escape?
The problem, no,
It's not, it's on the neighbor's property.
the problem is when the guy built this building, my property was there. The staircase was there.
That wall that is next to it?
Everything
Not
was
over
there. The guy built in this in 1984. He take the land in that place. He take it.
Can you?
Legally
can you
take
open
it.
the, GIS?
Yes,
Now, go to themes. I wanna see if you can pull up an earlier map.
twice.
But you had.
The maps, so you see the maps, the Google Maps is not accurate in what is now. If you see all maps, the property,
You see.
let me show
That's a
you.
whole,
Yeah, this is, let me show you another one.
that doesn't have older maps on
I
it?
think 2016 is the oldest we
Right,
go.
well, let's see what that looks like.
Let me show you something more accurate. This is 47
Here's
Google.
Woodward, right?
You see, yeah,
And that's next door.
here next door.
Okay,
In some place in 1984, the guy, this guy, the owner, take it right here.
I don't think anybody took it.
Yeah, you see,
Hold on.
see, you see,
Here, Woodward Avenue's down
Yeah,
here.
see,
Hold
you
on,
see.
Just a second. I wanna line these up on the same. In the same direction here, so. This is 47, and that's
This is
49,
49.
so that's 49 and that's 47. Okay. So.
this is 1984. This also big.
And
57.
15.
Alright, so this has a little bend in it. 33. 80. And what's this one? 130 something. Um, 50, well. Should be off a little bit, but see, it's what's different here is this is yours.
Yeah, I explained it to the city, so the city not gonna help me about that. Hey, that's not my problem, this is your problem. Why? Why is it?
Well, it's not the city's.
The-
I mean,
the
this
city,
this
I
is
need-
what you own.
Yeah, I need
The city doesn't
guidance,
decide what you own.
I need guidance from the city, but the city, I not gonna help me. I don't know why.
We need somebody to help us. Not,
That's not the city.
Okay, it's not-
We've been hearing excuse
See,
after
you
excuse
see-
after lie from these guys since the start of this. I don't trust a word they say. They lied to my face several
Okay,
times.
hold on,
They
hold
make up maps.
Hold on. This map is different from this,
Yeah,
okay?
yes,
Now, it doesn't mean that this one's right. This one's more recent. This one agrees with this.
yeah, I know, the guy, I don't wanna fight. I showed the guy, they said, oh man, I don't wanna. I was asking a lawyer, hey, you have this problem with this, He said, oh no, man, I don't wanna. Nobody wanna take the case. For 5 days, 5 food.
Okay, but the problem you have now, regardless of, the boundary, you have a fire escape on property you don't own. There's an extension here that crosses over onto property you don't own. You have portions of the building that were built without permits. And in addition to that, some of them are in violation in terms of setbacks, building code, emergency egress. You can't have a door leading out to an open roof like that.
And again, they said they're not working on the building. Why is there a ladder on the roof?
Oh, I don't
Working
know,
on it.
I don't know what that's about.
to get up to the roof.
To do.
Well, I
To do more
may be,
work, so to chill.
but what do you,
It's full of crap. It's full of crap. These guys are full of crap. They've been lying to me since the start. I don't believe a word. They've lied to my face. He told the building inspector this wasn't done, where he just pulled the zero code, where, oh, it was done when you owned the house. So I don't believe a word they say. They've been lying to us since the start. I feel like they're
is
just
this?
playing dumb or
is this-
dragging it out.
Can this building be,
Everything that they've done,
can this building be closed? Can the building department
They could issue unsafe
Posted?
structure to,
Maybe they should.
they should. I spoke to the building inspector. He said it was gonna refer it to his director. I've not heard back regarding that, but that is a possibility.
Ireland,
Island, yes.
Mr. Ireland?
Mhm. Again, they all have a seminar or else they would have been here today.
What are you proposing to do?
Well,
To
we're
correct all
willing
of
to
this.
comply with what the removal of any structures that we need to comply.
I've been hearing that since.
Yeah, but that's been going on since August of 2020.
I think they're playing dumb to drag this out.
We're
August
not,
2023.
we're not playing dumb.
Or you are
We
dumb.
also need, also these permits cost a lot of money. I'm not saying people can't afford them, but we also have gone through a bunch of financial struggles. My dad has not been working over a year. We want some of your help to be able to get these aligned. We don't want to fight with our neighbor, but we do understand that this neighbor wants to come through this access, which is a little vulnerable area where people have rooms, people can look into. That is a very, it's
Their
very
property.
strict, it's a very
Their
confined
property.
area.
Their
Did you say there's 2 units over there?
Check counted 2 kitchens with bolt lock up to the attic that probably had like a rooming house situation going in, but there wasn't signed on the original notice, so.
Chicken in the attic?
What do you
No, no,
need,
no, that's just-
what do you plan to do to remove these encroachments onto the neighbor's property and
Well, are we-
bring the rest of the house into compliance?
So do we just have to take the entire stairs off? We can't even have.
You
it
don't
over
own
here.
that land.
The dormer doesn't.
You don't own the
Yeah.
land. This you don't
There's-
own.
The,
This
Dormer.
piece here you don't own. It's on somebody else's property. That's not just a zoning issue, that's property rights.
Okay,
And
if
Attorney
we,
Dolberg said that his client wants to he wants to take this stuff down, which he has a right to do.
okay, and to resolve all this, this is all we need to do.
No, you have you been listening?
I have, yes.
You
but
have
we're talking-
addition
we're talking
upon
about these-
addition.
We're talking about
Okay,
these.
this
Hold
is-
on. You have too many violations here. Just too many. This is a violation. It's a setback violation and it's also a property encroachment. Same here. You have, Mr. Hall showed pictures, the
This-
dormer, the shed dormer up there on the top level, that's a violation.
this right here as well.
The bump out in the front is a violation because it's in the setback and doesn't have permits.
And
You got
this
that
right
box
here.
in the back. That's a violation. It looks like the rate doesn't look too good there either.
And just the building material storage yard in the back, just.
And well, that's
Yeah.
cleanup.
That speaks for itself, yeah.
That's cleanup.
Mhm.
But
Is that necessary to clean up, even if that's our property?
yes,
Yeah, that's blighted.
Blight.
And building material storage,
Blight.
so,
Nobody can see, this is a material de construction I use of sometimes.
for your house. when you
That's
do
not up
without
for
permits.
discussion. It's not up for discussion. That stuff is
Oh,
blight and it has to be removed. I mean, like I said, there's too many violations. I'm just pointing out a few here. So don't think that these are the only 2 things you need to deal with. This is only a partial survey. Where is it?
This one,
This?
yeah.
You really need a survey of the whole property. He just picked up,
Yeah, the guy take the money, the guy no did a good job. Why? He no wanna fight.
I don't know, you'll have to talk to him about
No,
that.
no, I
He doesn't work for the-
explain,
for the
I
zoning
explain to
They don't
what's
like the
going on.
results the way it shows, so they just want.
That is why I no explain to you what's going
Yeah.
on. I have a lawyer. The lawyer no ask what
Who's
the
the lawyer?
point.
Who's your lawyer?
I never got contacted by a lawyer, let's be honest.
Chuck Music?
Never got contacted.
Yeah, Charles Russell. I have lawyer, the guy no is not making nothing now. It's friend, the another guy, this guy. Yeah, let me
We've been
be
in
quiet.
contact with this lawyer for help, but we have not heard anything back from him.
Have you called him?
I don't know.
Man,
He is, hey, this is my friend. I take a lunch sometime with him. He never answer. Hey, but, hey, help me. No, let me talk with him. Never talk. I don't know why. Now the guy, the lawyer no answer my phone. 2,500 spent right there.
Mr.
Give me
Goldberg,
nothing.
you with us?
Yes, I am, sir.
You, have you been in touch with Attorney, Busick at all?
Yes, we have spoken at length, and Attorney Busick, when I last spoke with him, was going to the property to confirm what I have told him on
Mhm.
several times, which was that my title search clearly shows that my client owns that strip of property between the two buildings. And that it is not subject to any easements whatsoever. My title search confirmed that. And Mr. Gonzalez has no right whatsoever to set foot on that property. And in spite of my letter telling him that several years ago, he continues to trespass. And the only thing that I can say is that little staircase shows up on the survey that was back in 1987 or 84, but nothing beyond that. And so everything he's done is in violation of our property rights. And I'm trying to rectify this, and I'm happy that the city has intervened as to the other violations, which we thought were going on, but we obviously couldn't get inside the building. But we won't, my client has a business that he runs from that building, and we want to clear
that a
this up as
commercial
soon as
building?
possible.
That's a commercial?
Yes.
Okay. All right, what's with FEMA?
When they made their original application, back in 2023, there was a flood zone question. The map still showing the property was right at it, but they got a LOMA showing that it was not part of the flood zone. Because the elevation it tracks.
Okay. Your fines are up there.
Yes. I wish they were higher.
But
The fines are appropriate for the level of violation.
I'm sure they are.
And I don't even
I
have
just don't
all
understand
of
how
them.
that would help us improve our situation.
We haven't done anything to help.
Well, now that
I'm
I'm
gonna be
involved, I would
blunt.
like to make sure things get,
I've been hearing this since October. We've been hearing this
Not
since
for me.
October.
not for me.
You're better than your dad? You told me that.
I can't tell you how to fix all these problems. All I can tell you is you have to address them and bring this whole situation up so it complies with the codes.
Mhm.
These two things are, I don't see any way around taking them out. You got a bump out in the front, which you didn't get surveyed. That was in the picture.
Correct, yes.
Right? That's in a setback. That's an issue. And that didn't have permits.
Yeah, no, this is,
Right?
this is not the proper survey. I don't
Yeah,
have
this
to
is
do
not
that.
gonna
I
show,
need to make a note.
No, I understand that, but I don't know why you didn't get the building surveyed. You got all the boundaries in there.
This is a company, I don't know.
Well,
It's an expense.
you hire them
Yeah.
and you tell them what you need, you know? Is there a coverage issue here?
There could be, the lot is small, so even if they did do no bump outs, they're probably existing non-conforming
Is there
over.
enough land for a two-family?
Existing.
The thing, it was always, legal
It's
as a two
existing.
family.
You could document the two-family,
Correct, yes.
so it's all
And-
additions
It
there.
was always a two-family zone and, yes. It was just all the use was never in question, it's always just the visual work.
All right, this is what I'm thinking. And I don't want this to sound like I'm kicking a can down the road. But a $56,000 fine is not gonna help you. Because you need money to get all this done. I'll kick it over a month, but during that month, you meet with Mr. Hall, the building department, and probably the fire marshal, right? They're locked into this now.
Mhm.
And you set up a meeting as soon as you possibly can get everybody together, and I'll leave that in your hands. Right, because they've already been out for inspections. And you need to come up with a plan. You have to get a complete survey with the building on it. And talk to them about what plans you need to show what's in the house and make sure that you make everything comply. And you have to take out the things that don't comply. I think if you tried to get a variance for that front piece there, a setback variance, I don't want to speak for the zoning board of appeals, but I think your chances of getting a variance are, you have two chances, slim and none, because of the history here. They're not, you do the variances, right?
Right.
Yeah. You can feel free to chime in.
There's
on
no,
that
it'd be a
point.
self-created hardship,
Yeah.
absolutely no
there's
reason
just-
to grant a
You
variance.
can't just go and do things, I understand you're from a place where it's not as critical, but here it's important because people die in fires. They get hurt because stairs collapse, floors in buildings collapse, decks collapse. You know, if there's a gas leak or something, that's a problem. That's why you have building codes and why you have to bring this building into compliance. So within 1 week, set up a meeting. Okay? With you, somebody from Mr. Ireland's on Leo and the fire marshal's office. And figure out what you're gonna do.
I do want to
A
add.
month from now, if you get nowhere, then go upstairs and talk to the law department about shutting the building down.
I do want.
We've done it.
Yes,
We've done it before,
I just.
where you posted as unfit and everybody has to leave.
We had a very similar conversation last hearing where we were gonna meet up, and we did meet up, but nothing came from it. I said, you guys
Why
need
not?
plans, that's on them. We met up, I said, you need plans for everything that was done. No one reached out to me, and Architect never reached out. I feel like we've had this conversation several times and it's just been going nowhere.
Because the
And-
next step is the fine goes in, then you're in court. And if you don't pay the fine, you lose the property.
Oh, well, at that point, honestly,
Maybe beneficial to the community.
yeah, honestly. I wouldn't lose any sleep over it.
What's
So
that?
we'll take the month,
Just-
we'll find a meeting time with them to see what we need to fix.
Were you here last time?
I was not, no.
His daughter was.
Okay.
I live at the property, so I have a better understanding of what is going on.
You still have exposed roof there?
No exposed roof.
So you did do extra work
What was-
to seal the roof?
What was the blue tarp?
That is covering some,
This room right here.
yes.
It was exposed when I was there. It was chilly as heck. It was winter out. You could see from the
Oh, is that
outside.
off
of the
through
gap.
the window?
For you, this is a violation?
I just want to say for this photo, this looks like an outside of a house right here, but why are we inside? So I think this was done. That permit was.
Oh,
well.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So-
That was there when we bought it.
It might have been there when you bought it, but this is part of the problem. You know, people buy and sell houses with violations and the buyer ends up stuck having to deal with the
We deal
violation.
with those problems.
It doesn't suddenly become safe because they sold the property. You know, the codes are there for safety. You know, especially the fire code. And we've had fires in Norwalk where people died because of building code issues, fire code issues. So, this is,
This is, everything you see there is empty, this is never occupied.
it's on somebody else's property.
Oh, that was there.
It's on somebody else's
Sí,
property.
Understand, pero
lo compramos así.
I buy the whole this way. Understand you.
Okay,
Okay,
Yeah, no, you guys are working.
you need
working
this,
with
you
that,
need this completed.
yeah.
Completed. Okay, that's the starting point, and it's gonna have setbacks in it. Right, it's called a zoning location survey. Where did he have this? Oh, building location survey, that's for the property next door. You see how he's got the setback lines, the building is here. You need that for your
Yeah, the
property,
guy,
so you know what you're
the guy
doing.
take the money, right?
We're gonna need plans too, that's what I was saying.
And you need to talk to him and the building department about what level of plan you need, right? You need floor plan.
I've discussed it several times with several, for the past few
I
months.
got you,
But without him, younger than him.
Yes. Yeah.
but
Oh, no, at the site, yes, I did. When I did my first inspection.
you can't
and
just
we
keep
only
saying I
spoke with
bought
the
it
fire
that way.
When me and Leo were there the first time in January,
Don't
they're
recall.
playing dumb again. I could have Leo get a witness. I get a sworn testimony from him on a future date. Again, we've had this conversation several times.
And if there's no progress, then the next time we're doing the formal hearing, the fine is gonna be at least this. If I find a, I mean, if I find a violation. Technically, I'm not supposed to find anything without evidence, but this record is pretty clear. So you set up a meeting with them. Are you available? Do you have any scheduling issues?
I'm available to meet with you guys throughout the week. I can
Okay.
free up.
This would be
anything.
next week.
Next week, yes. I can do that.
Whatever, this week, next week, within a week.
I would just appreciate any animosity you guys had towards my father, not to carry that.
There's no animosity here, it's frustration, it's called.
Yeah, it is a lot of frustration, but we're just trying to get everything squared away.
They have a
everything
job to
safe.
do, and when they get cooperation, everything goes smoothly.
Mhm.
When they get
And I like
dodging and
cost
weaving
while
and lies, and then that's a problem. And they get frustrated, and I don't blame them. I get frustrated. You know, I've seen this now, how many times?
4 or 5.
My first hearing on this was, no,
I think it was October.
yeah, August of
August.
twenty-fourth, daughter and wife came in. Notice of violation, yeah, since October, we've been fooling around with this.
Mm.
You know, but then you get homeowner, I mean, this is in his memo, homeowner ceased contact with zoning office. You can't just like, forget about this, you gotta keep at it, all right? So, but you got 1 week to meet with them.
Okay.
And a month to show real progress. I don't wanna hit you with a big fine because you need the money to do this work.
Mhm.
I understand the situation, you bought it the way it was, and,
Mhm.
you know, sometimes these old houses have a lot of violations in them, you're stuck with it.
Yeah.
But the fact is, you're stuck with it.
Okay, and to be clear, if we show progress that we're doing something,
Real progress,
real
not,
progress.
I'm not talking about putting a nail in a
Yeah.
piece of wood,
that we are, that fine won't be put on if we show real progress.
I'll make that decision when the
Okay.
time comes. All right, but this is the last time.
Yeah, understood.
I would like call an architect right after this meeting.
You should get on, because it can take a few weeks for them to even get.
Yeah, and then you also have to get that survey completed, Joe. Mr. Dahlberg, do you have any final thoughts?
Only briefly that we have been engaged with Mr. Gonzalez since 2020, based on his misuse and lack of authority to use that strip. Subsequent to my involvement in 2020, he attached that staircase. So it's been going on since 2020, our involvement with this neighbor. So it's expanding and ever more frustrating for us.
So it was not attached in 2020?
Exactly. But he was but he was using without any authority, using the right of way, using that strip as if he had a right of way, which he didn't. And we tried to rectify that, and then he put the attachment on. So
Got it.
I appreciate your help.
I'm doing what I can. My objective right now is get this straightened out, not necessarily just to punish.
I understand that, and thank you.
I think you and I have a similar history in one respect anyway.
I
Right? Didn't
agree.
we work upstairs once?
Yes.
Yeah.
Probably before you were born.
Probably. You're so old. All right. Anybody else have any comments or questions or anything?
Should be good.
All right. Okay, we'll continue this to
April 23rd.
April 23rd, 2 p.m. here.
Jimmy Goldberg. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, good to talk to you, Jay.
You too. Thank you.
Okay.
So I'll
You know
have
what you
a mailer
gotta
out too. Yeah, I'll mail her out.
You will send us a piece of mail?
Yeah.
Okay, so
And-
we'll be aware to set
Yes.
that up.
And that's the hearing.
Yes.
You gotta don't drop the ball with him. You
Yeah,
gotta leave.
email me first saying you can, then I'll get back to you.
Okay. All right. And this is your guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I want to do it after.
Yeah, this one I'll do that.
Yeah.
Just
Two
remind
cases
me.
here that should be quick.
Can you say please?
What do we have
I
left?
have a baby squatting in my house. I came at 2 o'clock, please.
Oh,
we could, yeah.
Which one is
44 Grandview.
My case.
This one should be a very quick.
Is this, did they straighten it out?
Yes,
Just the one with the truck?
yes, it was just a matter of, to assess a fine or not.
Oh, this is one that I kicked over just to make sure.
Everything looked good with the, like with the spot that they got, which I checked and it does look good. And, so we did it to verify if the,
What's the street?
44 Grandview. It was to verify if the, yes, if the spot was legitimate, which it was, and whether to or not to assess a fine. But the violation is cured.
How you doing with it? All right? Truck is gone?
Ya se fue. Ya se
Oh, I'm
fue, ya.
sorry.
It's not there.
Truck is gone?
It's gone already.
You found a place?
Finally, yes.
And the other, you had some other business, right? A lunch truck? Or was that
No,
something?
That was
I
another
don't
one.
have
That was
That's, that was the one. it ended.
That was, yes.
I'm sorry. So you're,
Just I have a one truck, that's it.
Mhm.
That finally is gone.
and the driveway's taken care of?
Drive is taken care of, even as of yesterday, I swung by and it's all resolved.
Todo
está
relacionado,
No todo está fine.
bien.
No fine? Okay.
We're closing this, no fine.
So está cerrado, no hay multa, todo está bien. Thank you so much.
Sorry to keep you waiting. I didn't,
Yeah, I was almost like crying because it's, my baby's in the
how
house,
old's the baby?
9 months. Remember always coming with the stroller?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
All good.
I have a car letter, something.
I'll send your husband an email confirming, but, and I'll probably send him in the mail, but you're all good.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Feliz
Thank
day.
you.
Have a
Yes,
wonderful
you don't need
day.
to
Rest of
review.
the day. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Adios.
Yes.
We're good.
We're all good. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Yes.
Thank you.
See you soon.
They're here for 34 Garner, the one that I forgot to put on that, but I sent a memo for.
Oh. There's just one garden.
Like, this is the opposite of a Woodward situation where the architect, there did get an
What, they got
architect.
too many permits?
I'm sorry? We did hear this back in January where, something was assessed and just back on. This was the, garage that was converted.
Yeah,
And,
what did I, what was my last figure?
did I include it? Oh, we had to start a new file, so I'm not sure if I included it. We might have.
Sure, fine,
Yes, 7,500.
okay. And is this closed?
Yes, that one was
So
fine.
that's all done.
Yes.
And why, was this a new one?
Yes, that's the new one.
Oh, all right, okay. Let me just take a look at this. March. Okay, so what brings us here today?
That's just because the garage is still unconverted. However, their architect did reach out to me. They are working on plans. I don't believe I
That's
included
what
the
this
email
is?
here. Yes, so yeah, they mailed that to me. They're working on plans. Their goal is to have a variance to keep the garage to be living space instead of reconverting it. So they're working on plans to create that. This is Tammy. She is staff to the variance
Oh,
board.
okay.
That would be unlikely. There, what would be the hardship there beyond unwanted? So they're looking for something unique to the property that doesn't affect other properties.
Do I need to do anything right now?
I do want to continue this to April, but I just want to like establish,
So this is a whole new file.
yeah, this is the,
B and B part all done?
it's the portion of the, because you were renting 2 rooms, now I believe you're just renting one, and that one room, I believe, is not where the garage was, so it was part of the house, so Airbnb is legal, you can rent out your house, however, I saw in the ad that there's still kitchen elements that is a
I
problem.
removed everything from the kitchen. I mean, I think I showed you photos.
Mhm.
The whole kitchen, like everything was pretty much removed then when I came.
Only reason why I asked it in the ad, it still shows, so I can't zoom, it
Oh.
still shows kitchen, so. We'll enter through the kitchen, living room space.
Wait.
If-
Oh, got it,
Yeah,
okay,
so
I
To
didn't
us,
do that,
we still
okay.
see that as the kitchen.
Got it,
Wait,
okay,
hold-
I'll
hold
move that.
on. March 18th. The area in violation is still being advertised on Airbnb.
That was that was a misprint on my part, so the garage is still. The area that should be a garage is still living space. However, they were renting 2 rooms in Airbnb, one of them was where the garage was. Or it should be, now I believe it's only 1 room that they're
Yeah,
renting out, and
no,
that's.
the garage, I'm sorry, the garage was never Airbnb, never ever, it was part of the house. You could look at the listings, I don't know, I'll show you my previous listings, everything,
Yeah, but this says,
that was never Airbnb.
this says as of the 18th, they're still being advertised.
Right, I was confused into why, because it was never Airbnb. Ever, that was not part of,
Well, who put the ad in?
it was not in an ad, it was not an Airbnb, on the app, ever.
This is oh, you mean like that room was never.
Yeah, that
Airbnb,
room was
'cause
never
the
Airbnb.
Address is,
No, but the room is. I mean,
No, that-
you're still advertising here.
Right, because those are the rooms part of the house, the garage that was converted into like a room, that was never Airbnb.
so like half of the basement should be garage, half of the basement.
No,
can be
wait a
living
minute, wait a
space. But like you do enter in,
The
so.
kitchen, removing the kitchen is one thing, but
Mhm.
a rooming house.
So, I'll just do the street view real quick. So when you enter in, also like for Airbnb.
Yeah, I remember the street view, right? You go right into the,
Yeah, so this should be
No,
the
my-
garage.
right, I know.
So when you enter the Airbnb, that's this door right
No,
here,
no.
so.
My question is, are rooms being advertised,
Yes,
and is that a rooming house?
if there were separate, last time I was there were separation locks and a separate kitchen last time I was there.
And it's still being advertised that way,
Correct, yes,
then it's still a violation.
correct.
But there's no kitchen.
That's
Right,
why
you
it's still
can't
being
have a rooming
advertised
house.
for. It's still being advertised, so that's why we put it, so like in the advertisement, this is from the other day.
The 19th, you said in your memo.
Yes, and I believe I got a more recent one. This is from
The kitchen is just part of it.
yesterday, yeah.
But last time that I was here, I was told that Airbnb was okay to do, that's why it was kept on
So you can
advertised.
Airbnb your whole
You
home.
can Airbnb
It's-
the
you can't
house, you
Parcel
can't,
out
you can't
units.
have a rooming house.
Like the lock, you mean?
Right, you've made a separate unit when you install a separation lock.
Okay, I mean, I could have just changed the logs, that's fine, but you know, like that, I mean, I thought it was fine, that's why I continued doing Airbnb. But I could just change the logs.
So when the plans that you're getting, any update for from the architect, or I know they take a while, so.
Yeah, no, we were just waiting for the surveyor, the
Gotcha.
survey to come in. I think the plans were fine, but I think we were waiting for the survey. And then when I called them on Monday, they said, you know, a couple more days. So
Gotcha, okay.
I'm still waiting to hear back. from
Because the
them.
survey was the goal to apply for variance.
Cause they'll need to replace their parking, cause that was their
So
complaint
they're
parking.
seeking variance for parking that they
Is,
displaced
yes.
with conversion, illegal conversion. That's what I'm saying. That's a self-created hardship that is unlikely to be granted. The
How-
previous, sorry.
how is where's rooming house in the definitions?
I think it's under a boarding / rooming.
Boarding house. Any dwelling or portion thereof in which at least 4 unrelated persons, but not more than 20 persons are housed or boarded without separate kitchen facilities. So it's a boarding house or a rooming house,
Yeah, defined it.
right?
Mhm.
As, I mean, any dwelling, okay, or portion in which at least 4 unrelated persons, but not more than 20 persons. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you can have up to 20 related persons?
Oh, yeah.
I know, you didn't draft this. Are housed or boarded, how many, well, you need 4 or more unrelated people. So that would mean you have to have the main house with 3 additional rooms.
We would argue that if it's like a short-term rental thing, it'll be transient dates, so like more people at, different people at different dates, so it's like, in any given week, it could be like 3 different people renting the same space.
Yeah, but this doesn't say anything about time periods.
Right, but then it's really more that you could probably look at it as a
I
few
think the
different
intent
ways.
is you don't wanna have a flop house going on.
Right, I mean, but you could you could share your home, rent space,
Yeah.
I could rent to Ian, as long as I'm not making a separate unit, so if I'm locking off any, yeah, so you understand, okay.
Right, so is it okay to advertise on B&B?
If it's,
Depends on what that
Yeah.
advertisement says, I
Sure, yeah.
suppose, if they're renting.
Well, there's one
the
room.
thing that caught my eye was the
How many
kitchen.
rooms are there that you rent out?
Two.
Are they 2?
Yes.
Well, that's the answer, it's less than 4.
And it was the kitchen thing that stood out, so if the kitchen's not
Well,
there,
the
I can.
kitchen-
I
It's
can-
definitely not,
yeah.
it's not
stood
there.
out.
Actually, the photos are, I didn't realize about that, this, the like, it's like the main, I don't know, like the description.
Mhm.
But then on the listings where, you say what it's provided, it was removed, so I didn't actually look into this part, but I'll definitely remove it from here, but it's out, it's not there. There was an extractor too, it's out, like it was removed.
Okay, so we're here for the garage.
Mhm.
And what are we doing?
They have the right to apply for a variance for it, and their architect contacted me, they sent a letter saying they're working the plans and drafted up, so I wanted to continue it to allow them the time to apply for a variance.
I don't think you should go in with the expectation that it'll be granted, we can't stop you from applying, but they're gonna say what's your hardship.
May,
I can do that,
May,
28th or something,
whatever I
May
say.
29th, yeah. I'll send a letter out.
2 o'clock, May 28th, in this room.
So can I just ask, how let's say, going through a variance and doing this, how does this affect like the neighborhood?
So the statute and our zoning regulations indicate in order to grant the variance, the board has to recognize the hardship that you're claiming. The claim would be that you desire additional living space, correct? There's nothing unique about your property. It's not unusual compared to the neighboring properties. You chose to remove the compliant parking without benefit of permits. So basically, it's like asking for forgiveness for what you've already done. Historically, they have not been willing to grant variances for that. It's not to say, like, I can't say 100%, there's no way you get a variance. I'm just telling you, based on my
The
experience.
variance is having a required having parking in a setback.
Right, that's,
Is
yeah,
that
that
it?
would
That's
be, right,
basically
it would be
it.
a parking, right, and then,
And because you had a parking space in the garage and removed it, you created a violation. And the ZBA is gonna look at it and say, well, then just change it back to a garage and that fixes your problem. That's what she's saying is probably why you're not gonna get a variance. It's self-created. It's your own desire to use the garage for something other than parking cars. So that's what, but the Airbnb part's okay. My question was whether, even though you remove the kitchen, if you have enough of these units, then you become a boarding house and that.
Yeah,
that's
no,
not
no, there's
allowed.
only 2 homes.
Okay,
So I'll send an email, send a mailer, and,
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
All right, sounds
Good.
good. All right, thank
So
you.
this is,
Thank you.
continued.
hope you enjoyed the show.
All right, thank you. All right.
So we have.
All right, stack these things. Do we have anything else?
We have two more, one is, 336 Westport, the vape shop again.
I thought we did something with.
Yes, we
this,
issued
didn't
a fine last time, so the violation was still there, so I, brought it back. I did have an update for my, memo, because they actually reached out to me yesterday. And, they're willing to, they asked what they need to be done, they're willing to take down some signs, and they actually asked to set up an inspection for me to go on site. So just
What
point
did we
out,
do with this last time?
we issued a fine of $5,000, I believe.
They pay it?
No. So my updated, because they reached out and they have to, set
You
the
wanna
time to
just
be
take it over to
to a month, yeah, to see if they follow through with anything.
1 month?
To April. 23rd. And 19 Grove, that was the last item. That one, we're just waiting on a survey for, there.
19 Grove.
Yes, this is the new one. This
One that
one,
I don't have, even have a memo.
oh, apologies for that. And that mixed with some of John's stuff as well. Okay. There's no. This one. So, they got caught being a two-family without getting a permit. The zone allows for it, we just had to figure out the parking would work. They dropped off application plans, but, fell through with a survey. They're still operating as a two-family. And, so we sent a notice and everything. So, but the homeowner reached out to me and it was the contractor he was working with. I've worked with him in the past and I've experienced hardships with him in the past regarding getting surveys. So this is the case where the homeowner thought he was doing the right thing, but the contractor was kind of dragging him along, allegedly. And that was the case with this contractor. I don't have his John's computer. I can give you that name after.
Oh.
Yeah, but I've worked with him on that contractor for another case and it dragged out longer than it should have, so. He dropped off everything he needed to drop off except for the survey. We even got site plans and drainage reports, so. He said she'd have the survey within like a week or so my recommendation was to continue it a month to April. Cause the homeowner is doing everything.
Where's Grove Street?
It is, by Burritt, kind of, South Norwalk here. They're on.
Oh, down by the split.
Yeah, so
Okay.
above Middle Street.
What are we doing?
I want to continue this to April, just to allow him to drop off the survey. And that should be the last action. Yes.
All right, I'll fill out this.
Okay.
We can close this and I'll fill out the forms.
Sounds good. No one else in the thing.